No one tells you this about dating a firefighter, but it's not just about the uniform. It's an entire lifestyle, and it comes with a lot of beautiful parts and some real adjustments. This isn't a negative video, it's just an honest look at what life is really like for us. I've been on the fence, dreaming, low down, dirty, scheming. Welcome back to As Told by Us. I'm going to be giving you a real look at what it's like dating a firefighter. Let's get into it. One of the biggest positives is character. Firefighters go through intense training that builds discipline, problem-solving skills, and responsibility, and that really shows up in who they are at home. It's also a very manly profession because of the rigorous training that it takes to get into the profession. Only the strong survive. So if your man survived the mental and physical training, you've got a good one. And I think that's what I genuinely love about my husband. But at the same time, that's something that I have to keep in mind, right? This is a manly man. So don't be expecting him to, by nature, do a deep dive into his emotions with you. How does that impact you? Like some of the things that you see, like, do you feel like your emotions are ever in a bunch? Like, do you get teary-eyed?
I'm a dog. I'm built for it. I ain't worried about it.
I mean, but emotionally, like, can we just get deeper?
I'll be alright, you know? You gotta answer the call, what God has on you. So I believe that God put me in a position to do because I can endure. You know, it's not, the job isn't for everybody. So if you have a weak mind or a weak stomach, then, you know, you'll be at an office computer or something. You know?
So your emotions are...
I don't have, I have emotions, but I just pray for them. Every patient I come across, I just pray for them and I let them know that God loves them.
But it just all depends on the person. Schedule is one of the biggest adjustments.
We do a lot. It's a lot in the 24-hour shift.
Oh, a 24-hour shift, huh?
Mm-hmm. It'd be draining, but we get it done. Some days could be packed full of stuff. Some days not so much. Some days you up and down. Some days you resting.
But it actually has some great benefits. After working a 24-hour shift, my husband has a full 48 hours off of work. And that uninterrupted time is not something that you always get with a partner that's working a traditional 9 to 5. So if we're strategic in planning his days off, it can make for a really good vacation. The 24-hour shift also gives us a healthy break from each other. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I feel like once he gets back home, it really makes us cherish the time that we have together. Becoming more independent, however, is mandatory because at the end of the day, your partner is going to be gone for at least 24 hours. So that means for an entire day, you have to figure out how to get everything done independently. So that looks like navigating through our routines with the kids independently. Holidays also look and feel different in this lifestyle. For example, my husband was actually on shift for our son's first Christmas and New Year's Eve. Instead of missing out, we opted to celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve instead of the traditional Christmas Day celebration. And we did spend New Year's together. So it was honestly still very special. The schedule is a major thing. And because of the schedule, we do have to be intentional about scheduling time for us without the kids, us apart from taking care of our home. Because sometimes it just feels like we're doing life in parallel together. But that just means that communication and effort matter more, and we do have to just be a little bit more intentional about it. And I think that's one of the biggest things that you'll have to brace yourself for is sometimes you do have to spend a significant amount of time alone, and that's okay. Independent. Do you know what that means? Get used to it. So going into this, I'll be honest, I definitely thought that there were going to be a lot more perks or like big housing discounts, big benefits, but that hasn't really been the case for us. That might be an Atlanta thing, but it was a good reminder to separate fantasy from reality and find alternative options that still worked out to our benefit. Also, firefighting isn't just about constant fires. So you can let go of the idea that you're always going to be worried when they go to work. It's not every day that they're fighting fires. The fires actually come few and far between. And most shifts are actually about EMS calls or alarm calls.
But for the most part, it's EMS, about 80-20%. EMS versus fire. So.
Oh, yeah? And how are the fire calls when you have them?
They're good. I'll say 70% of them are false alarms. Food on the stove, smoke detector, stuff like that. Ever so often you get car fires, homeless encampments, trash fires, structure fires. I work in Buckhead, so there's a lot of high rises, so high rise fires. You know, that's about it. And then outside burning, which is, you know, grass and brush fires.
That does come with an additional emotional weight that will fall on your partner's shoulders that I think you should be prepared for. But when there is a fire, it's really cool to hear about his enthusiasm and excitement after the fact. And by the time we're talking about it, he's already home safe. So instead of being filled with anxiety about danger associated with work, it usually just results in us having really good conversations about the team and reviewing some of the fire footage that he catches on his fire helmet camera. Even things like packing lunches for your partner is totally different. I was with my husband since he was in fireside or firefighter training. And when he was going through firefighter training, I did have to pack meals a lot more consistently, making him breakfast and lunch and also a snack to eat in between the day because he was going through rigorous training and just needed a lot more fuel. But once he got to his assigned station, I did notice things changed drastically because they operate kind of like a family unit at the station. So each person might have cooking duties assigned to them, and sometimes foundations might even cater their lunches. So I might only need to cook 1 to 2 meals for his shift as opposed to breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks. At first, I was cooking so much that we had to get him this huge suitcase looking lunchbox, and it was like a joke at the station about how well fed he is. But that has since changed, and he doesn't have to bring that big old lunchbox so much anymore because oftentimes they pay their dues and the dues will cover their meals, so they will at least get one meal that they eat together at the station as a family. So in a nutshell, this lifestyle has truly given me a deep respect for what my husband does and the type of person that he is, because being a firefighter does call a special type of individual that is strong-willed, motivated, and truly cares about the good of those around them. And despite that, dating a firefighter is not always rainbows and sunshine, but it is meaningful. It's built on patience, adaptability, and choosing each other intentionally, each and every time. Are you in a relationship with a first responder? If so, what's been your biggest adjustment? I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop your feedback in the comments below.
I've been on the fence, dreaming